Today, Kaur has three main wards: Janekunda, Wharf Town, and Turekunda. Its bustling Thursday Lumo draws traders from across the region as a former British protected groundnut trading center.
We are on a plateau in Kaur, very magnificent sight. As I stand on the pit of this plateau, I make recollections to that of the monument in Dakar. If the Senegalese can be innovative, can be creative and transform that hill in the middle of a city to an economic hub, the daily earnings of that monument in the middle of Dakar is really huge. We have a similar one in the Gambia, yet unexploited, better situated and strategic than that of the hill in Dakar. This is an avenue that we are calling out to all Gambians who want to invest in this country to reduce the unemployment rate of the youths. The Kaur Plateau is one of the sites where investors can come. People who have interest in tourism, community tourism, ecotourism. As you stand on this plateau, you directly face the River Gambia towards the east, clearly viewing the interesting meanderings of the middle course of the River Gambia. You can view over settlements on the other bank of the River Gambia in Nyamina. You can clearly view down the flooded alluvial plains on the banks of the River Gambia that are unexploited. I am calling on all Gambians. Look at the valley, open valley, with rich alluvial soils. I therefore call on all Gambians who are interested in Gambians' welfare to invest in this future. It can be a resort, it can be a hotel, it can be a camp that is very interesting. This will also boost the economic viability of the River Gambia. The River Gambia that is being underutilized. Boat trips, tourist boats and ships will be coming to this area to lodge at this site. Tourism is not only about five-star hotels in the city or in the metropolitan area. These areas of the Gambia can be explored and they can be very vibrant internationally. So let's look into the interior of the Gambia and exploit some of the features that can bring about great economic gain and youth employment of our country.
Kurang bisan wajang gama kurang bisan ya matrenelo.
This is the Nani Jabalong. It marks the boundary between Upper Salum district in Central River Region North and the Nyanija district in Central River Region North. The Nani Jabalong takes its source somewhere from Senegal. It enters into the Gambia around the Nyanga Bantang and flows southwards to connect to the main channel of the River Gambia. It is 87 kilometers. It is one of the 7 main bolongs along the course of the River Gambia within the territory of the Gambia. Across the Nani Jabalong is the Karansane Bridge. This Karansane Bridge provides a vital connectivity between Upper Salum village of Batindar and the Nyanija village of Chamen Nyanija. This being a freshwater stream is vitally used for agriculture such as rice cultivation, vegetable growing and animal rearing.
In the village of Kerbach, stone circles are prehistoric monolithic monuments that represent united communal efforts, ceremonial burial sites for prominent individuals in a society, an astronomical observation center. They existed in different cultures and are still common visible symbols in many parts of the Central River region north of the Gambia.
We are here presently in this place called Kerbach, which is known as the V-shaped stone cycle. The reason why it is called V-shape because the stones are V in shape, and this V they represent a meaning. So we are going to look at the summary. The stone cycle at this place are among of the Senegambia region stone circles. We have one in Wasu, one in Kerbach here, and another one around in Senegal area. So here is the V-shaped one. The reason why here is more important because these stones here are V-shaped formula. So the important purposes of this place is one, it serves as a burial site for kings, chiefs, warriors, and scholars. Two, it also serves as a symbol of unity and community efforts. Those that do more effort to the community when they died, also they were buried here, and also center for astronomical observations for people for like us today to come and observe and then have know the reason why it was here. So the unique feature make this place is because it is a V shape. When you go to Wasu, they are not in V shape. Here they are in V shape. This V shape here, it represents a meaning that two close relatives buried together on the same day. When so this V shape standing here, it means that two close relatives they were buried at the same day. This small ones besides shows that it is a child is a child's burial. And then the circular arrangements that we are seeing, the ones that are around in circle, also shows what unity and harmony, support among people, and then and eternity. Like those that they were helping, they for them their burial it was made as round. Those that it was V shaped, it was known as what two families that died together and then they buried. Those that they are around the circles, the smaller ones, they are known as children that were buried near their parents. So the additional features of this place is that this place has a museum, and this museum is having farming tools, it is having hunting equipments, and it is having weapons. So here we recognize that the Kerbach Stone Circle as part of the UNESCO World Health Heritage Sites, highlighting their global importances. So to conclude with everything, the Kerbach V-shaped stone circle shows that ancient Gambian societies were well organized, culturally rich, and spiritually aware, and the site remains important for historical and archaeological researches. So these are the main economic importance of these places. So I thank you all for your kind attention.
Yes, I would want to give a brief summary about the stone circles. Stone circles are prehistoric monolithic monuments which were burial sites for prominent people, kings, chiefs, and scholars. It also symbolizes unity in communal effort where community members can come together and be able to conduct successful activities. Stone circles were also astronomical centers. They were not also burial sites. Recent studies is also indicating that they were astronomical centers. In Senegambia region, there are many stone circles, but this V-shaped stone circle at Kerbach is unique. It is the only site where we have stone circles that are in V shape, because according to the analysis and the interpretations of a famous Gambian prominent scholar, Alhaji Kemorin Jete of Kuntawur, Fulakunda, whose analysis um, aligned with scientific and archaeological researches, indicated that the V-shaped stone circle is a burial site of close relatives. Some narrations had it that it is a burial site of cousins. Some indications put it that it is a burial site of a wedding couple who had an accident during their wedding celebration. So, as a result of that, we had great scholars in this country prior to the recent times. They've made a lot of writings. There are a lot of their accounts in analysis and interpretation. And one of them that still people make reference of scientifically and archaeologically is the writings of Alhaji Kemorin Jaite of Kuntaur Fulakunda. This site serves as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2006. So this place where we are standing at is globally recognized as a historical research. Today, it is being supervised by the National Center for Arts and Culture.
Wasu stone circles. These stones are in Nyani district, CRR North. It has the largest concentration of megalithic circles in West Africa. The site has 11 circles, each about 10 to 24 lateric pillars, believed to have been in existence since 750 to 1000 AD, which is about 1500 years ago. The site has a stone pillar with a height of about 3 meters, one of the tallest in the sub-region. From the interpretation of Mr. Isa Trawale, the height of a stone determines the social importance of the individual buried there. The higher the stone, the more recognized the deceased buried at the spot.
Welcome once again to the site called the Wasu Stone Circles. In the Gambia, we have two major stone circle sites which are inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List. This is Wasu and then a different site called Kerbach. And Kerbach is 30 kilometers away from here. And the reason why people call them as stone circles of Senegambia is because in Senegal, they also have two sites which are inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List. So for this reason, people call them as stone circles of Senegambia. Singain in Senegal has the largest site with 52 circles, with a total number of 1,102 stones at their side. 121 circles. And here at the Wasu side, the circles were 11. 11 circles. But circle number 5 down there under the tree completely got broken due to erosion. So for this reason, we now have 10 remaining circles. In Kerbach, they have 9 circles. So in total, 93 circles in Senegambia. And in 1964, archaeologists came in to find out what this site was used for. So a circle was excavated by them, and the circle number 6 down there. And when we say circles, we mean circular alignment of stones in a standing order, stone circles. Circular alignment of stones in a standing order. So the excavation done by the archaeologists, they found human skulls, bracelets, and potteries. So these stone circles of Senegambia were burial grounds for the important families, graves for the important families. And these stones were carved by the builders from a nearby quarry. There's a hill down there. That's where the builders cut these stones from. Later transported here and erected them in a vertical form. But looking around or looking at the stones, you might think that they are volcanic rocks. Like in geography, there are different kinds of rocks mentioned in geography. There are rocks called igneous rocks, sedimentary and metamorphic rocks. Like igneous rocks can be classified into two. We have what we call intrusive igneous rocks and extrusive igneous rocks. Extrusive igneous rocks are formed when the lava comes out on the surface of the earth. It cools and solidifies and later form a kind of a rock called extrusive igneous rocks. But these stone circle stones are none of those types. The stones are called laterite stones. Late Rite, laterite stones. And laterite stones are rich in two elements, that's iron and aluminium. This is why when you look at the stones, you can learn that they have two or more different colors, like red rusty coloration and then a kind of a dark color. And on top of the standing stones, you can also see plenty of small stones over the standing stones. These are beliefs, traditional beliefs. Like in history, there are different sources of history. There's what we call oral tradition, written, and archaeology. According to oral narration, Some of the villagers stated that these stones were built by God at the beginning of the world. No to those answers. Some of them also said these stones were people who were disgraced and later turned to stones. No to those answers. Please always try to differentiate between the oral aspect of the history and the written aspect of it. Do you understand? Some of them also said these stones are fed by something and they are growing in size. Students once came over for excursion. They asked, "Sir, are these stones growing in size?" I replied, I said, if these stones are growing in size, then we are not watering the stones. In science, we all learned that stones are non-living things. They do not have the ability to grow. So some of them also stated that they used to see shining of light from the Wasu stone circle side, but it always disappears when one approaches. So these are beliefs practiced by people living here, but also people coming from different locations of visiting. Like people living here have the belief of saying, if you pick a stone from the ground, then say your wish on it, then later place it back on any of the standing stones or on the fallen ones, they believe that your wishes will come true. This why when you look around, on your belief, because the villagers still continue to say, um, Muslims do not worship these stones. Only parents worship them. So okay, it still depends. Do you understand? But then just when you look around, still you can see plenty of small stones over the standing stones. Oh no, but some are saying they have wishes to do. The whole of the Senegambia stone circles, the Wasu stone circle site has the tallest one, and this is the tallest, and it is 2.59 meters tall. 2.59 meters tall. And in each of these stone circle sites, they all have a kind of a unique stone. So this is the unique stone at the Wasu stone circle site. There in Kerbach, or at Kerbach, they all also have a unique stone called a V-shaped stone or the layer stone. Do you understand? Like in a V-shaped form. But we don't have those kind of structures here. And then like in one hour in Senegal, they have a structure um, in double shape. That's a circle in a circle. Do you understand? Like when we look into creation, we always think that two natural objects are the biggest. And what are they? That's the moon and then the sun. Like down there, circle number 10 has bigger stone size. And then it is the circle that we have on one of our banknotes. That's the $50 note. Then when we have a walk around, you can see the circle number 10. So I will say thanks for coming and thanks for listening. So if you have questions, then you can ask. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Hmm. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, majority, that's a good question. Majority believe that these stones were transported by the builders from the quarry by using rolling method, like rolling them, using like logs of trees, big rollers, to get these stones transported to the stone circle site. In the exhibition, you can see that artist impression. Okay, yeah. Any other question? If no question, then I think we can have a walk around.
Wasu stone circles are the most popular in the Senegambia region. One of each circle is represented on the $50 banknotes of the Gambia, which symbolize a sophisticated pre-colonial society that triumphed with resilience over centuries of different challenges. The site has a museum and is identified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The team had a night stop at the Karantaba Lower Basic School. The next day, on the 15th of April, the team drove to the Mungo Park obelisk at Sami Karantaba. The Mungo Park obelisk is a historical monument of a tall, slender, four-sided stone pillar tapering to a pyramidal top at Karantaba village in Sami district of CRR.
But what we learn in the curriculum that it is a memorial site, these are things that where a research was conducted. As we know, history is dynamic. The research was conducted by the National Center for Arts and Culture, that this was just the starting point of Mungo Park journey. And this was just put to honor the role played by the people of Karantaba and Mungo Park in global exploration. That was the reason why this was put here, this obelisk, and to celebrate his 150th anniversary upon coming. It is located in Same Karantaba, but the area here is called Pisania. It is an old post where British were residing before the coming of Mungo Park. They used to call this area as Pisania. Yes. But the place is called Same Karantaba. Yeah. Yes. This one, the importance of this obelisks, just people to know the starting point of Mungo Park journey. Without the obelisks, we might find it difficult to know where he started the journey. That was the reason why it was put here by the then governor. Any question? Yes. Mhm. For his attacks, one of the reasons they said by then kings, you cannot enter their territory without paying homage or other things to them, to the king. So this was another reason. He passed through without going to the king. This is what others believe. So that was the reason why he was attacked. So any territory that you come, you must go to the king to pay tribute upon entering the territory of that king. So that was the reason why he was attacked. And secondly, they said it was during the slave trade. They thought that Mungo Park was also engaged in that slave trade as well. That was also another reason why he was attacked, perhaps, in 1806. And the other thing, he was not the first and he was not also the last explorer. He was the youngest explorer, very famous, but he was not the first. After another explorer come in called Richard Lander, who was able to find that the Niger also emptied itself to the Atlantic Ocean like the River Gambia. So that was also another research that was conducted. So Mungo Park was not the first and he was not the last explorer. He was the youngest among them. He died at the age of 35 as well.
The Sandugu Balong is the longest tributary along the River Gambia within the Gambian territory. It flows for about 240 kilometers southwest towards the main course of the River Gambia. It naturally divides the CRR North and URR North, with the Sami district of CRR North and the Sandu district of URR North. The Sandugu Bridge is built across it. It is the Bolong with the mystical belief that an aspiring leader or a serving leader dares not to cross.
This is the Sandugu Balong. It is among the main bolongs along the River Gambia within the territory of the Gambia. Sandugu Balong strategically marks the boundary between Central River Region North and Upper River Region North. If you cross the bridge from Central River Region North, the moment you cross the bridge, you enter into Upper River Region North. So it is between the Same district of Central River Region and the Sandu district of Upper River Region. This bolong is the longest bolong among the 7 main bolongs. It covers a distance of 240 kilometers, flowing southwestwards to the main channel of the River Gambia. Each of the 7 main bolongs have their own unique characteristics. The unique characteristic of the Sandugu Balong is that it is the longest bolong along the River Gambia, covering 240 kilometers. It is a freshwater bolong. Over the Sandugu Balong, we have the Sandugu Bridge. This is referred to as the Sandugu Bridge, which is built across the Sandugu Balong. So this bridge marks the boundary between Central River Region North and Upper River Region North. It is a freshwater stream, as you can see, which supports cultivation of crops, rice cultivation and other cultivated crops in this area. We can also see the domestic uses along the courses of the River Gambia. You can see people over there carrying out laundry activities. As it is a freshwater, stream, the water is also used for drinking, for swimming, and other domestic purposes. It is also used for recreational purposes like swimming, canoeing, boat racing, and people also use it for fishing.
Around 12 o'clock noon, the researchers moved to the Woolly East to visit one of the oldest settlements in the Gambia. The Sudokua village in the Woolly East district of Upper River Region North is believed to be the first settlement established within the territorial area of modern Gambia. Records indicated its existence as a bustling commercial, religious and trading hub way before 1450, the arrival of Alviso da Caramosto, the first European to reach the estuary of the river Gambia. It served as an important jeweler center located at the intersection of trade routes near Sandugu Balong, connecting to the river Gambia, Bundu linking to the gold mines of Bambuk and Futa Jalon. As early as 1506, it was a very populous community of about 4,000 inhabitants. This consecrated settlement was founded by Haman Kare Jabai as a great hunter. It was a cultural center of a great traditions and was a prominent part of the Mali Empire.
Mina mun koto mate alkalo Sedi Jabai ado mala mun tati akita nye kontan bati ka aljia jambi ka kachan bin soto Sudokua ba kenyala nkoto ma do be silo kanna ma do ninte dasata damenna ase kachali tisi do laoka ya fo nyamela introduction to Sudokua ba mu sate ke ba balati sate ke balam tarikoto menga Sudokua ba si ika file Haman Jabai Haman Kare Jabai wotilo lanu dan noli le katare yaila bari grupo le kata yo tarikoto Haman ning grupo le bota mandi Mali ini wuloli ani joranli ikatare de mola wulo kono wanyo wulo kono ning ibe de mola ikadula do muta ikafu dame daka resting place yo wo daka somanda ika split le ika janjang grupol tikata de mola niye suboli meni fa ikana ben ila daka ika balu wo subol le la ani liyo ani yirdim fengli wulo kon yo wo Hamana wo hunting expedition wo wanyo me bala wole ya bondi manding Mali kana Sudokua tarikoto ibe fonyokande ye demo kele sai be kafta nyoma ibe fonyokan fo grupo nyimbe sinota ibatata ibe fonyoka yiri ba ko to sinota naman ke haman damman ne ba nyala anata moyi wulo be diamu la nyo wulo le kafo ko hadama dinguli ya mira ya belelo bari ma belelo jang nyin suto koma wulo ya nyati lindulal nyin suto koma ni ye sate aussi jang abe kela sate yiru wari mbalete sate o nyimbe warla alondi tioli be siala wala mu oral history ti sate o nyin tombo nyala ni tata Gambia la tarikoto Gambia ni Senegal la tarikoto Portugisol wala mu tubabu fololti meni esinlo Gambia ni Senegal because wo wato la Portugisol lemu tubabolti meni folo nyin no ka kulungu dada kala bakan kata dula jang Portuguese le British ni français li saba Gambia and Senegal. Yo Portuguese la na Gambia na tarikoto wakita year 1455 one inside was 500 plus years sanji kemelul ning femba 1455 ning sainte tariko ya itandi ko Portuguese la wona we atari Sudokua Babylon. So Sudokua mu sate keba balet sate kebalam ndu ni yenna mandinka kan kono jibe ibaje la ko history nyin to Portuguese la na jang katuba bol be saba Sudokua anin Gambia dula ko tan ni yenna mandinka kan jibe baje la ko wala mu tonyat cause nka kuma doli fo mandinka kan to ngamira mandinka kan la mu bara i manke mandinka kanti Portuguese la kan la borrowed words from the Portuguese language. Nsi example men di wala mu nyinti Portuguese bi na jang wati 1455 wa tari korge to man soto jang nka la tenkram bungle kono nyama bungle yo ite la na kono nga fengoli men ni loila membo ko Peruo manke mandinga kat nga abondi Portuguese count because nga lo ite la ntel man Peruo lo Portuguese oli ka fo Peruo ele perego nyin di ma même vele sire ate meta Angola la Portuguese o moy bake e ka fo Peruo ele perego ite leo natina society wona amulun tanyo jama.
Sudokua had endured persistent power struggle in Wuli between the Jabai and Wali lineage for political dominance. It has been a long-standing religious center and a historic background of the settlement as the first place for the building of a mosque in the Gambia. It has transcended for generations with outstanding developments in modern Gambia.
Kurang bisan wah jangga kurang bisan ya matrenele iyan dem marong iyan den jai kai wai iyan dem marong suma iyan dem marong kai wai kurang bisan wah jangga mernala big wajal sumanje ke na zed yo ya maton yen kilime na fonye bang fan tv yen kilime na fonye bang fan tv yen kilime na fonye bang gasiti kadomo wallahi yen kilime.
The Fototo crossing point. This was one of the crossing points across the River Gambia. The length of the River Gambia within the Gambia has a lot of ferry crossing points. One of those ferry crossing points was here, Fototo-Pasamas ferry crossing point. As we are standing now, we are currently on the old terminal, the old ferry terminal. And you can see the ferry that was used for crossing. It was very, very important here to facilitate transportation of goods, services, and people. It is connectivity. But as a result of development and advancement in the Gambia, Pasamas Fototo Bridge has been constructed. But here is along the River Gambia. There are some very important features along the middle course of the River Gambia which are very evident. One of which is wider V-shaped valley. The river has 3 stages: the upper course, the middle course, and the lower course. Each of these stages of a river has specific unique features that are found
within that area. So this part of the River Gambia is the middle course of the River Gambia. One of the prominent features that we can see, as I earlier said, the wider V-shaped valley. Apart from the wider V-shaped valley, we also have seen meanders. Meanders along a river refers to the sharp curves or bends that the river flows through. The meanders are very prominent along the middle course and the lower course. If you go to the upper course of the river, meanders are not very prominent. What is prominent there is V-shaped valley. But the V-shaped valley along the upper course of the river are not very wide, narrow. That is why sometimes they are very deep, because the erosive power of the water will do more of down cutting. It is going to erode the bottom, and therefore the valley of the river will be very deep. That result to the forming of gorges. That is also very prominent. Maybe if we are lucky to reach Conakry, we can see some of those features. But here, slip of slopes, wider V-shaped valley, and the meandering of the river. This is the old ferry terminal, but it is no more functional. So now here is a historic ferry terminal. But still, we have some ferry terminals along the coast of the River Gambia, some of which we will be able to see, like Lamenkoto, Janjambure, Bansang, Dobo, and other places. We've seen Kaur to Jisadi, Jareng to Karalwaf, Brikama to Walikunda. These are still very important ferry crossing points across the River Gambia.
Pasamas Fototo Bridge. This significant bridge foundation was laid on the 18th of December 2018 by His Excellency President Adama Barrow under the project Upper River Region Roads and Bridges. It was officially inaugurated on the 19th of October 2021, making it one of the 4 bridges so far built directly across the main channel of the River Gambia.
This is the Fototo-Pasamas Bridge. This is one of the bridges built across the main channel of the River Gambia. The foundation stone was laid by the President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, on the 18th of October 2018. And on the 17th of November 2021, the bridge was officially inaugurated by His Excellency President Adama Barrow. This Fototo-Pasamas Bridge replaced the historical ferry crossing point between Fototo and Pasamas. This bridge was built under the project of Upper River Region Roads and Bridges. It has a length of 170 meters across the River Gambia. This bridge is very significant to the people of this area because it enhances free flow of traffic to ensure the smooth transportation of goods, services, and people 24 hours. It also connects intra-regional connectivity and also outside the Gambia, connecting regions of Tambacounda to other areas. It promotes economic viability of the region.
It spans over the River Gambia for 170 meters, replacing the historical ferry crossing point which connects Pasamas on the northern bank and Fototo on the southern bank of the river. It is a modern infrastructure which links the isolated remote communities in Wole, Sandu, Kantora, and the region of Tambacounda and beyond. It provides essential logistical connection, reducing post-harvest losses, and boosts socio-economic activities for regional farming communities. This bridge enhances the free flow of traffic, thereby strengthening trade within the ECOWAS sub-region. Despite the significant challenges such as warm weather conditions and the long-distance drive, these researchers remain resilient throughout the journey. On the same day, from the Fototo-Pasamas Bridge, the trip stopped at the Fototo Upper and Senior Secondary School, where they had a rest after a tedious day-long journey. In the late hours of the evening, They held stage performance activities such as drama, dancing, and poetry competition aimed at entertaining and educating one another under the theme child abuse.
We are currently at the Sambajuma bridge in Basse. It is another bridge that is built across the main channel of the River Gambia. It was inaugurated on the 9th of November 2021. This bridge is a project under Upper River Region Roads and Bridges that was sponsored by the Chinese government. The bridge links Basse on the south bank and Kerewan Badala on the north bank of the River Gambia. It spans across the River Gambia for 250 meters. It is a modern concrete steel bridge. This bridge is very, very vibrant. It also replaces the historical ferry crossing point between Basse and Wuli on the north bank of the River Gambia. It is very important because it is of connectivity within the Upper River region and beyond in areas of Senegal, Kolda region, Welingara area, and the Tambakunda region. It also is of connectivity between ECOWAS states such as the Republic of Guinea. This bridge ensures the economic vibrancy of the Upper River region. This is the second capital of the Gambia.
After 4 days of resilience, these researchers decided to have a long hours of rest on the fifth day at the University of Education Basse campus after visiting the Sambajuma Bridge. In collaboration with agri students of University of Education who were also on their nationwide tour, organized themselves in various groups to display their cultural heritage.